It's like a fucking claymore that just goes, and he's like, I'm just staring at all these kids eating my illegal pizza on my lawn and going, and this is how it ends.
This episode of Not For Radio is brought to you by Classic Builders, proper Kiwi builders, 30 years in, still doing it the same way, practical, straight up, getting it done right. Hello, welcome to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. We are your hosts, Dunc and Hyde, Jay Reeve.
This is very fun. Back in, and we went on some tangents today. We're known for tangents, a couple of cracking war stories, but we really dive into my good friend Laurie Steer, who's the world's greatest potter, and you'll understand why I have such a desire to share these stories with you, because he's just one of the most spectacular humans that I know.
He's a special bit of kit, man.
Is
he special.
It will have his links to his work in the podcast notes, but just go and check him out. And if you're in a position to be able to grab some of his work, I would suggest doing so, because it's going to be worth a metric shit ton when he eventually dies of something fucking weird. He's the guy that will go on safari and get eaten by a giraffe. You know, like he's that kind of guy.
We have got the chance here to win one of our Not For Radio hats, Chester Country Trucker caps. Got a last few there. This is for people that send us voice memos. As I say this, I just realised that we didn't play any in today's episode. But we can play some in tomorrow's episode. Yes. It gives you a chance to send them through. Click on the show notes. There's a button there that is our link tree. Once you click on that, you can go send us a yarn, fire it through. Benny Boy will have a listen, then hopefully end up with a podcast, and you win a bloody hat.
Enjoy.
Attention, snipers. Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
What have we got here?
Okay, so this is you may as well have put anonymous. This is the most generic white bloke name ever. John Smith, Australia. I'm not even sure it's his real name.
You know
Sounds
what? John
like
Smith will be sitting there just going, fuck you. That's
Which
my
one?
name. Call me John Smith, because that's my fucking name.
There'd be about 30 blokes called John Smith listening to this podcast and being like, I don't remember sending this.
Or mates of a John Smith going, I wonder if this is my mate. What a grub.
This is from John Smith in Australia. My wife owns a small boutique motel where we live on site.
Narrows it down.
One night we had two lovely Japanese young ladies staying, sitting in the lounge room of the residence, and the next thing I hear is this horrific screaming. Turns out it was the aforementioned young ladies in their room. I knocked, no answer, but the screaming continued. This is a great start.
Hang on, what are we just early doors, what are we punting on? Are we going
It's not
wild locals or wildlife?
Wildlife.
Yeah.
Unlocked, and we went into the room, and the girls were huddled so close together that they looked like conjoined twins in the furthest away corner of the room. I asked what's wrong, and they point behind me. There on the wall was a huntsman, only medium size, only about 10, 12 centimetres. Let's call him fucking Ralph, because that's what I fucking named him. To resolve the situation as quickly as possible, I laid one hand underneath Ralph and coaxed him onto my palm with the finger of my other hand, intending on taking him outside to put him in the garden. This caused the level of screaming coming from the girls to increase from sonic to super fucking sonic. I was wearing a long sleeve t-shirt and at the time, so Ralph decided it was time to explore. I was wearing a long sleeve t-shirt at the time, so Ralph decided it was time to explore and crawled up under my sleeve. No problem, I thought. Go outside, take my shirt off, locate Ralph, place him in the garden. Unfortunately, Ralph had other ideas. He crawled up my sleeve and made his appearance. Out the neck of my shirt.
Fuck yes.
And settled under my jaw. I thought the girls were screaming as loud as they could at the time, but I was fucking wrong. Not only did it suddenly sound like every soul in hell had decided to scream instantaneously, the girls were no longer huddled in the corner against the wall. They had become part of the wall.
You know, the fucking creepiest part for them would be they would have seen it pop up the sleeve of his shirt, and just as the leg disappeared from his palm, it would have fucking appeared at his neck, because they move like fucking lightning.
I gently removed Ralph from my neck, cupped him in my hands, and released him outside. Took me half an hour to get the girls out of the corner, which included a complete search of the room prior to exiting. Fast forward 6 months later, I was working behind a fence in a private area of the motel. I exited out the gate, and there was a Japanese gentleman with a suitcase about 5 metres away from me in the car park, who had obviously just checked in and was on his way to his room. He took one look at me and pointed at me and yelled, "Spiderman!" Spiderman! Walked up to me, bowed, and then took a selfie with me. Seems I might be a minor celebrity in Japan now, guys. I know you probably get this at the end of all the stories sent to you, but this is 100% true. Every other guest who had exited their rooms because of the screaming, and my wife can verify the total veracity of the story.
Fucking hell.
That's amazing.
That is. He just...
Do you reckon he went viral in Japan? Must have.
Well, they wouldn't if they took a picture of it. They possibly did.
And then they were on a work trip, and he was like another one of their colleagues.
Yes, Mum and Dad were up recently, and they were Anna saw. There must be that place because basically, we looked at these houses, and they back onto this bush area. And remember, we went to look in one, and there was 2 fucking ginormous spiders.
That's right.
Yes,
the tree house.
Yeah, one of those popped up on the garage at the new joint, and Anna was like, that thing has just got to die. And Dad, who's Dad's killed heaps of spiders, like, don't get me wrong.
He's a stone cold killer, as Steve Reed.
Yes, he's like...
There's a very small list of things he wouldn't kill on this planet.
He's like No Country for Old Men fucking style killer. And he, so he's like, no, I'll go and put it down in the bush and behind the house. And Anna's like, no, because then it'll come back. Dad's like, I'm not going to kill it. So you've got to fucking kill it. So Dad... as his own man at whatever his age is, 70 years old, so I'm not fucking listening to you. So he just put it on same.
You reckon you'll ever get there?
No way.
Good answer.
Zero chance. Well, I'm not going to outlive her, so I'll never get to say it. So yeah, he marched it down.
Say that loud now. It might be good to role play. Hey, Jay, move the huntsman spider.
Like, fuck, do it yourself.
Whack!
Now, what you will hear is this. And that's the sound of a vagina sealing shut. And that's enough for me to not ever say it.
Instant Barbie doll.
Yeah, that's it. She's fucking, yeah. She's only one step away from it. You know, she's changes lots of outfits. She can put different hair on her. Not a hair on her body.
Oh, if you're new to the podcast, Jay's wife's got alopecia. It was a terrible joke from Jay.
Okay. Yeah, well, glad we got to the bottom. Anyway, the old boy chucked it out in the bush, and now Anna's fucking dead set on this thing that it's coming back.
It's going to find your new house. Was this at your current house?
Yes.
Oh, so it's happened at both the houses. It's going to happen again for sure.
Well, exactly, because it's a fucking spider. This is the thing that people don't, like, remember, I don't know if you would ever recall, there was a stage probably in the 90s where pesticides and insecticides were used at such a fucking crazy volume that you'd drive through the night and get there after cleaning your car and there wasn't a single bug on any of your fucking windscreens or nothing. And now we're at the stage where you've got a great cross-section of every insect available on your windscreen when you arrive after driving at night. And that is something to be celebrated. Yes, it's inconvenient, but it just means that we've actually got some ecosystems that have bounced back and operate in the way that they should do. And in order for ecosystems to operate, we need fucking spiders because that's their job, is to mess with shit. And it's like, nah, not my fucking house. You're not living here.
It's so good because, like, that's the threshold that different thresholds people have for purchasing a house and what's the deal breaker. Like, you legitimately didn't buy the tree house because of the spiders when you turned up to the open home.
Yeah, there's 2.
So it's 2 spiders stop you from buying a $1.7 million home. and then the other people's thresholds, like Lee, we see that Lee was seriously looking at his first family home and there was legit a bloke that died in the garage.
Yeah,
and they had to, like, say that to them. And I was like, fucking beauty, you got to get a deal. And it's like... and he was like, we'll go get some people in and get it cleansed and stuff. And then, because this happens all the time, right? People got to die somewhere.
Yeah.
I was listening to the 2 Flogs podcast, and the boys from Alpha Blokes had gone to their golf day. And I forget if it was Pooh, who's one of the co-hosts in the Alpha Blokes, bloody funny bloke. But one of the crew had slept in the sunroom at the motel, and then they got told after that a lady had died in there and they didn't find her for like 2 weeks. She'd died in the sunroom.
Oh, fuck.
It was like the middle of the Australian summer as well.
How do they not find somebody after 2? Was it like an Airbnb scenario or something?
I think it sounded like a block of like motels.
Whoa.
Don't know, maybe a good, like really good rubbers on the windows sealed it in.
Yeah, I think I've told the story
But
about.
there's a high chance that someone would have died in your house.
100%. Well,
Not of mine, brand new.
not brand new. It's brand new. or you may have somebody in your foundation work.
That'll explain why we got it so cheap.
It's been
Just a front for a gang, washing bodies,
the
and cash.
Laurie Steer, the world's greatest potter, once did this massive installation basically in the edge of a felled forestry block where he made a log cabin. I think I may have mentioned this before. Maybe it was on the podcast.
Tell the yarn again. If everyone's heard the yarn
Yeah.
on 300 episodes again,
Yeah.
apologies, but this yarn's fucking great,
Yeah.
Benny boy. You're going to love it.
So Laurie is he is one of the most amazing.
Should we bring up should we just like grab one of his recent Instagram posts? He's a special human.
So just a little backstory. We were doing the Pro Longboard together, and we started like a longboard travelling gang called the Stillwater Club. And in order to make the Stillwater Club and be a part of the Stillwater Club, you had to complete some initiations. And so there was all ones that were kind of a bit, I can't even remember what mine was. Everyone had to basically swim through Shark's Alley, which is a stretch of water, and around the back of this island, Rabbit Island, towing like entrails, basically like a fucking human burley bag. It's pretty sketchy around the back. Gets pretty dark. It's not really the nicest place to be by yourself when you're paddling a surfboard. And then you'd have a specific one to you. So one of the guys was a recent vegan, and we're traveling to a surf comp in the Hawke's Bay, and a truck had hit a sheep from about 3 cars in front of us, and this thing was fucked on the side of the road. So anyway, we pulled over, and Laurie goes to our mate Jules, "You're going to have to finish it off." He goes, "What?" He goes, "You're going to finish it off." And he goes, "It's going to fucking die." And he goes, "You miserable prick. You're a vegan and you don't want to see animals suffer, so you're going to finish this thing off. This is what you have to do to make it in the Stillwater Club." So anyway, Jules massacred this thing with a fucking Swiss Army knife. The blade was like 1.5 inches long, so you imagine how long it takes to finish sheep in there. It's that fucked. It was fucked, but he just went full American Psycho, staring at us in the car, just stabbing this thing up, and we're like, "Well, that's a bit fucking full on."
Could have gone for the jugular. Would have
Yeah.
been more humane.
Unaware of it. Yeah, well, that's basically he was trying to do this anyway. So, so Laurie's one was to tongue kiss his dog that was like fucking 28 years old and fucked. And then there's someone else did a big bee in a pub where they basically chopped the pint and just fucking lobbed it over the back of their head and just fucking started this massive all-in brawl. I can't even remember what mine was anyway. So some time later we were like, fuck man, that was pretty crazy when you look back on it. Pretty reckless behaviour, pretty fucked all around. I'm like, who came up with all of them? And Laurie goes, "I did." Like, what? You made yourself tongue kiss your dog? And he goes, "Well, I needed to make it look real fucking chaotic so that you guys would all do you all fucked ones as well." So there's a level of operator he is. So he's an internationally acclaimed artist. If you can get your hands on his ceramic work, it is fucking worth moonbeams. Like
We'll put a link in the show notes to his Instagram. You can jump onto a store from there.
Yeah. So he's been an artist, a professional artist, and operating at a level that, like a really high level for a very long time. He's lectured and all the rest of it, and he has his residencies all over the world. Anyway, so he builds this like a log cabin with a funeral pyre next to it, like a stacked up, like you do in camp where you put 2 logs one way, 2 logs the other way, and you make this big pyramid. So it's on the edge of this like cliff gully that goes down into this big felled forestry block. And forestry blocks are grubby looking things anyway, but it runs alongside the road, and there's a little clearing, a skid clearing where they pull all the logs up to, and this is where he'd built it out of all of the skid, like the bird nest or whatever they call it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so he builds this thing, and on top of it, he puts his grandmother's mattress, which she died on. Fuck knows why. And he set this thing up as a time lapse to film the whole thing and then film it all burning, and even had cameras inside and that were basically just torched and took a live feed to another thing, so you could see this whole thing. Beautiful art piece. Anyway, so everyone in the area thinks he's fucking weird anyway, because this guy's making a fucking log hut that he'll never live in. All these farmers are driving past and he's there every day, and he wears heaps of weird shit, so they're like, this guy's lost the plot. And he builds this thing, it would be, I don't know, it must be like 6 meters high. Like, it's high. Anyway, he gets up there and he throws this mattress on top of it, and he goes, I wonder what the view's like from up here. So he sits on this thing, but as you can imagine, he's built it with not a lot of building experience, and this thing is, this funeral pyre is rickety as fuck. And so he starts to shake a little bit. And so he's like, holy fuck, this thing's going to go. And I'm going down a cliff on my dead Nana's mattress. And so he starts doing what anyone else would do. Like, I need to fucking spread my weight out here. So he starts leaning back onto this mattress. And he's like, this is so fucked. And as a result, he starts uncontrollably laughing, like hysterically laughing, like, trying to figure out this involuntary action that his body's making because he's about to fucking die. And there's like 2 farmers park up and watch him, and they're like leaning on the fence, full Wallen fucking cooch off Foot Rot Flats, just watching him going, this guy is fucking nuts. And he's laughing, looking back at them, and just staring at this fucked artist with his, he eventually ended up calming himself down and was like, I'm just going to have one crack at it. And the thought process was, he goes, if I climb down on the side, there's every chance that it'll roll down and it'll crush me. So I'll climb down on the back side of it, which if it does go, then I get to surf my Nana's mattress down the side of this fucking hill. He's just one of the most spectacular humans and just mad.
Benny boy, whip that mic around and then click on that link. And this is when either, I forget if his van died or someone nicked it. No, someone broke into his van.
Someone stole his van.
Read that post. It's a shit heap van that he uses for his pottery work.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Lloyd, my beloved pottery van. 10 years of faithful service. Beachside park-ups and cosy sleeping. He was stolen last night and salvaged for parts by some shitbag assholes. I found him today, defiled, discarded in the sand dunes, busted up, missing half his doors, lights and electrics. I put the key in and he started up first pop because that's the kind of fucking van Lloyd is. He drove himself to the wreckers with his head held high and me sobbing at the wheel. See you later, Lloyd. You are the fucking best. On a more cheerful note, the hapless fools who wrecked him also stole a 5 kg bag of fine white powder from the boot. No doubt they'll still be smoking it. It's lead by silicate, cocksuckers. Enjoy the ride.
So he's like one of the world's best potters, and that's just in his feed, just sitting there with all these amazing art pieces he does. Then he'll slap in something like that.
He does. He's got this thing. I mean, not to take any of the mystique away. So he was invited. We've gone on a fucking Laurie Steer tangent.
That's
I don't care
good.
because it's great. So he turns up. He's at the Toma, which is a Tasmanian Museum of Modern Art, basically, and it's a real prestigious collection. Anyway, he flies over with like 30 pieces, and they're all on these plinths being displayed, and all of them are for sale, but all of them are like 40 or 50 grand a pop, sort of thing. Like, they're not fucking cheap.
That's so sick.
Oh no, that's what I went. That was the one that he did. Yeah, that was the one he did. Yeah. He's got some real politically charged ones, like Kid Rock pregnant with Trump's baby and shit. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so
Hold
he
a
did
can of Coke, smoking a dart.
Fuck, it's awesome with missiles and shit. He just does great work. Anyway, so he has these pieces and they're all over these plinths, and basically 90% of them sell out within the first hour of the exhibition being open, and because that is the desire for his work. Like, people buy it from all over the world, and anyway, so he disappears, and he disappears, and then the dog man turns up. So the dog man looks like like one of the Reapers off fucking Harry Potter or whatever, Dementors, and he's dragging this fucking big axe through the gallery, and it's just black cloaks all over it, and he's got a sack, and he grabs one of the pieces off the plinth, puts it into this sack, and smashes it to fucking pieces.
And how much is he selling each piece for?
By 50 grand. Smashes it to pieces and then empties out the pieces onto the plinth and then fucks off and comes back. The dog man disappears, and then all of a sudden Laurie appears again and goes, damn it. I knew he'd be coming. And everyone's like, what the fuck was that? Who the fuck was that? And he goes, it's a dog man. He basically turns up every 30 minutes and smashes something until it's all gone. And they're like, well, fuck.
Or you buy them.
What can we do? And he goes, well, he doesn't smash any of the sold ones. So, like, instantly, like 2/3 of them go, and everyone's starting to panic, like fuck. And Laurie disappears again, and fucking you can hear the axe being dragged across the concrete. And fucking people are like, "Where's Laurie? Where's Laurie? I'm gonna buy these pieces." And he just fucking the dog man turns up again, and they're like, "No, I'm buying this one. I'm buying this one." Not a word said. Into the sack, smashed the fuck, and put back as a pile of rubble on this thing. And he comes back and he goes, he's got another one. Fuck, all of them sell out. He's so good, mate. He is just the way that his mind thinks.
Yeah,
is just on another level, elite. And his he used to do these. He was running like an illegal pizza business on the beach out of this place that he lived in, and he built this adobe oven. And he was like, how hot can we get this thing going? So he had it going like a furnace for fucking blasting pottery, to the point where you'd tip sand in it and it would melt it to glass, which is at like 1,300 degrees or something. Anyway, it starts getting out of control and he starts hysterically laughing. And his missus comes running around the corner with a bucket of water, and he reckons at that moment my whole life flashed before my eyes, because like water goes on this thing, fuck, everyone within a block is dead because it just
mortar
turns
bomb.
it into a mortar. Exactly. It's like a fucking claymore that just goes, and he's like, I'm just staring at all these kids eating my illegal pizza on my lawn and going, and this is how it ends. Oh, man. And his wife Nat, is like one of the most talented fashion designers. Like, she's incredible. He's got 2 daughters, and I was like, man, they are going to be a fucking handful, an absolute handful. Jeez, he's good.
Make sure you check out his work. You'll see exactly what we mean, and then have a deep dive through some of his posts as well.
If
He's
you're
great.
having a rough day and you just want to say piss off, you twat, to every single person you meet, you should probably listen to Not for Radio with Jay and Dunc.
Good on you, Big Herb.
You really should.
I thought I'd throw this one out there this morning. I have a funny feeling you'll have something for this, Jay. What's the stupidest thing you're currently wasting cash on because you're just too lazy?
Too lazy?
Yeah, and so this happened this morning, and it's probably the 7th or 8th time this has happened. So we've got a green bin at home, and then it's like 6. Okay,
Yeah.
the green bin is empty most of the time.
Yeah, but you're still paying for it.
Still paying for it.
You should only pay, this is my take on it, but this is, I understand this, subscriptions work this way. We are well aware of this. You pay fucking irrespective of whether it's not, but you should be paying per kilo. Go for a per kilo dump weight, because that's what they're getting charged.
Oh, when I can fill it up, I'll fucking try and claw some back, like I'll fucking put some bricks or something in there. And so
Put it through the fucking mulcher and it goes, spits the teeth out of the thing.
I get sent a text yesterday saying green bin's come to get picked up. So fuck, I might try and mow the lawns. Looked at the lawns, there wasn't a lot on there. I was like, nah. And then every time
What you want to do, give your lawnmower to your kids, get them to mow all the neighbours, charge them $5 each, put it in your bin, and then you actually make your money back.
This is a good shout. Again, I'll forget this instantly. And so I'm sitting on the couch. And then I was like, oh, fucking courier driver. And it was like a dude on a fucking wee 50cc scooter. Like half into the driveway. I'm like, oh, yeah, what's fucking arrived? What's Dixie bought? Did I buy anything? Trying to think. And then he just opens the bin lid and then closes it. And I was like, well. And then he scoots off. So he's the guy that runs ahead of the green bin.
Scout.
He's the scout. And so what happens is he
Is
will...
that fucking buzz?
Something's getting fucking drilled down in this building. We're probably going to drop through this studio floor any second. If this whole thing disappears and there's just a wall there, we're dead.
What a sick job.
Sick, but he's the scout, and I did miss out one point there. So he took the bin out. So he opened it and then took the bin out. And I was like, and then I was like, fuck, not again. They charge $12
To pick it up.
if I haven't put on the curbside. It's a 6-meter trip to my curb from where the bin is. And the fucking thing's empty.
I'd never bring the fucking thing in. I would stake it to the ground or have it in a bracket.
And then I was like, this is getting ridiculous. I reckon the last 6 months it's been taken twice, but every month I forget to put the thing out on the thing, so I'm getting charged the $12 for taking nothing. Whoa. And also, I basically chucked this one out there on Not for Radio on the Sniper's Nightmare page. What's the stupidest thing you're currently wasting cash on because you're too lazy?
I would say that I have absolutely shelled out on the hangman, which I don't mind. Because the hangman is a person who comes around, and actually, this is the level of operation I'm running. This is the lack of man I am. So we got a guy who is, in his everyday life, is a cabinet maker. And so he came around to do some work, and I was like, hey, you'd be pretty handy when a flat pack needs to be put together. And he's like, yeah, I can do that. This
Paying a
motherfucker.
cabinet maker to do it, it's a fucking rookie move.
Yeah.
You can pay a 4-year-old.
I know, but this guy gets paid the living wage to put it together because he just likes doing shit on the weekends.
Oh, that's all right then.
Saving a bit of cash up. And the hangman, I pay the hangman to come around and hang all my pictures because I can't handle looking at shit and it being on the piss and knowing it's my fault. And so the amount of time and effort and skill involved in hanging art.
Yeah, which is, I get that.
Yeah. But I mean, that being said, it's not fucking cheap. He is not cheap. He basically pulls up in a fucking Mercedes G-Wagon and goes, sweet. And then I was like, what else are you doing? He goes, just hang pictures for lazy fucks like you.
That's so good. So, what are you still paying for? Just because it's out of pure laziness. This is from James Barden. When I first moved out, I couldn't be bothered washing my duvet or sheets, so I bought a new set every Friday. This from Amy.
That is so good.
I buy my horse a new horse cover every year because I'm too lazy to wash it and reproof the one from last year.
Fuck. See, sometimes it's just easier. Lance Duncan, toll roads, because I lost my password to my toll account and can't be fucked dealing with them. Reset and forget later anyway. So I pay the late fees out of laziness because I also forgot to check the mail and pay straight away.
Oh, that's going to catch up on you.
Sammy Norris, fuck me, where do I start, boys? My 40-foot Lornament jet boat or the diesel to drive to work, which is £27 a day when we get free EV charging at work.
Fucking hell. This one from Ray Bleakley. Getting coffee out of the vending machine at work instead he's written instead twice. Instead of spending £1.20 on a pack of sachets and bringing my own mug. It's the same shit, eh? When you get one out of a vending machine. This from AJ. I worked at a pub. We had poker nights every Wednesday. If you bought a drink, you get extra chips. I used to buy a customer a jug or two every Wednesday for him to clean out my car as well. Fuck yeah.
This one here from Shane. Buying movies off YouTube because I don't want to pay for a subscription but end up spending $50 a month on movies fucking anyway. It's tough. I get real close because there's some real great series on Anthony Bourdain stuff. Has all recently been put up on YouTube, which is great. And the Huckberry series Dirt, they've got new Dirt episodes up, which is one of my favorite. Like if I was to do a TV show or a series, those two things combined are fucking exactly where I'd want to be.
Do you know what doesn't sit well with me? So you pay your subscription, say it's Amazon or Apple, or there's a few of them, and you get a certain amount of free movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But then you'll go and click on one, they're like, rent or buy it. It's like, hang on a minute, what's the fucking subscription for?
Yeah.
Like, why am I paying on top of?
Yeah. I just look, when it's one of those things when you pop up on your TV and it's got everything across the bottom. It's got fucking Neon and Hulu and Amazon Prime Plus and fucking Netflix and everything. And I'm like, there's a lot of cash sitting there. And I personally don't fucking watch that much TV. I watch Country Calendar, which is the greatest television series in the world. Homesteads, season 3 is returning, which fucking excites me. And then everything else I can basically watch on YouTube and just battling through ads, though. How weird is ads?
Oh, it's real hard for the kids to get their head around. Here's the hack that I'll give for people that are sick of paying subscriptions, and no, it's not illegally streaming them. Get a Samsung TV. There's an app on Samsung called Tubi, which has fucking outrageous amounts of TV on it. And then Samsung has their own TV loaded to it. It's got like 60 stations. The boys are just watching extreme sports at the moment. It just goes from surfing, skating, BMXing, fucking downhill mountain biking. It's basically like a poor man's Red Bull TV.
Yeah, it's all back in the day when it was single kick skateboards and fucking fluoro surfboards with mullets.
Why they got funny haircuts, Dad?
Twin fins. Mark Richards is 17 in it. He just recently celebrated his 80th birthday. This one here from Aaron van der Boogard. Gym memberships. I'm too lazy to cancel it or find a cheaper one, so I just keep chucking money at the fuckers.
There's so many people that have got like the one from back in the day, and they refuse to stop paying for it because they know it's a cheap deal. But it's like our storage. I'm paying $390 for our storage unit, but I could buy in 2 months. I could pay for a garden shed and have it at my house. Benny boy.
Oh, I'm definitely one of those just plodding along with the gym membership because it feels like giving up to cancel it.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm still going to get fit. I'm going to do this. My missus is like, you haven't been in like 6 weeks, Ben. Can you just stop paying? I'm like, no.
Wouldn't it be nice if we just go once every other month and be fucking shredded?
Jacked, yeah. The other laziness tax is pay wave. You've got your wallet on you. You've got your cards there. But can you be bothered putting it in and punching in if you know? I will pay that laziness tax every time.
was I the other
It's
day?
like 26 cents.
Nah, bro. I was like, they can swing it to however much they want. I'm sure of it because I went and did like a $55 purchase the other day, and they're like, "Oh, you're good with PayWave?" I was like, "Yeah, give a fuck," sort of thing. Hit enter, and as I hit enter, it was $1.70. I was like, "Oh, that didn't fucking sit right with me at all."
But if you were to say, for example, if you're holding your card over it as PayWave, you're a fuck up. If it's your phone and you don't have your wallet on you, that's understandable. But
I'm a
people
fuck up.
People that pull their card out and go, instead of me just jamming it here, I move it 3 inches further north and get charged $1.20. That's fucked.
It's just because people hate human interaction now. They just want to tap and fucking quit the chat and go.
I love
the transaction.
The person that's made the big fucking wand with a star on the end of it. So they just go ding like they're granting wishes.
Oh, that's cool.
And they put their fucking AirPods card in it. Go through the drive-through. Ding.
Yeah, that's good. That's a nice touch. We should do not for radio ones of those.
Yes.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
Rightio, this is an anonymous one from the UK. I work in a busy hospital, and one evening we had this huge fella limp into the department, and all he'd say was he had severe abdominal pain. On examination, the doctor felt a hard mass in his abdomen, sent him in for an x-ray. Turns out...
Keep going.
See, this is...
Let us in on it. Carry on reading.
Turns out it was an aerosol can up his ass.
Fuck, the human anus is impressive.
It's the black hole of black holes. On asking, we found out it was a can of furniture polish.
Yes. It reeks of a bloke who just grabbed whatever he could in the moment, in the heat of the moment.
Fucking hell. So the treating doctor went and called the surgical team because this wasn't going to shit itself out and we couldn't get it out without causing more damage. The in-call surgeon that night was South African. Now this is relevant. The doctor hands over the details and said, "So if you can pop down as soon as possible to review, Mr. Sheen, we'd appreciate it." Mr. Sheen is a UK brand of furniture polish, and the doctor was joking. But the South African surgeon didn't get the joke because Mr. Sheen isn't sold in South Africa. So the surgeon comes down to the department and goes into the cubicle with a nurse. The surgeon looks at his notes and says, "Good evening, Mr. Sheen. I've been asked to," and the patient loses his mind because this doctor has called him Mr. Sheen instead of his real name due to the emergency department doctor's joke that the surgeon didn't get. We eventually calmed Mr. Sheen down and he had the item safely removed and presumably put it back into the cleaning cupboard at home without the missus finding out where it had been. There you go.
That's not his fucking name.
Are they cutting him open to get that out, or is it forceps or something?
You would hate to think.
I'm on the work internet. Fuck it, cares. How would a doctor?
I noticed you
this
walked in.
This is going to change my algorithm.
Hey, Jay, check us your phone for a sec.
I noticed you walked in with a little bit of a limp. Right. Perfectly timed story.
Okay, this is up there. How would a doctor remove an aerosol can from an anus? Okay, here we go. Removing an aerosol can from the rectum is considered a medical emergency due to the risk of bowel perforation, infection, and potential explosion from the pressurized flammable contents. Doctors typically treat this by attempting non-surgical transanal extraction in the emergency department, moving to more invasive procedures only if necessary.
Do you reckon? And it's, I mean,
Sedation, lubrication, manual extraction.
imagine
They
fishing
pull it out
around.
manually. That doesn't
Fishing
mean the
around.
whole hand's going up there.
Possibly. You would fucking know about it when you woke up from that.
Well, you get a plunger up there.
It's a set of barbecue tongs.
Okay, so tools such as forceps, snares, or a suction device, like the vacuum they use in
yes.
pregnancy.
Yeah, that'd do it. This I need some verification on this too. So this may be where Maya gets called in, and she's not going to be overly pumped on this. But do your fallopian tubes go around like that? I just thought that they were attached, and so that the eggs pop down, and then they go down your fallopian tubes. I fucking got told today that your fallopian tubes, if you're a female, just fucking mince around like octopus arms and grab them, and then they go through.
I wouldn't be surprised if Maya doesn't know the answer to this. It's not like she's seen them any time lately.
I'm actually not 100.
You don't even know it's in your body. How do you not know that that's what's happening?
We don't need to know, do you? Body just does its thing.
Well, do you know?
Well, I guess
do you
like
just put food in your mouth and go, oh, and then all of a sudden shit comes out my ass. I don't know what happens in between my mouth and my asshole.
I mean, hate to get political here, but like we're not really taught a lot about
No,
our bodies
nah.
growing up,
Exactly.
especially as women. Like the diagram that you see of like a woman's like
Reproductive.
yeah.
That's the thing that's the greatest falsity.
It's totally inaccurate. It's just because that's what looks nice and that's what like is a lot easier to look at. So it's like I think a lot of women like sometimes are like, oh, I don't even know what's going on down there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just literally just found this out today, and I find that fascinating. That they're not. I just assumed that they'd be attached. So when your eggs are being basically
They get deposited in.
descending into, that's where they would be going through. But they just don't.
Dude,
Because once again, when you think about it, if those pipes are, say for example, where it drops down to where it will basically go into the wall and then gets fertilized and then creates a baby and the rest of it. If those tubes were connected to where your eggs are all held, then who's not to say that you can just absolutely send a load up in there and then they go up the pipes and just fertilize all those eggs that are just waiting there, because you're born with the amount of eggs that you're going to have. It doesn't increase. They're just fucking, that's your set number when you're born. So you could just fucking say there's 100 or so of them up there. You just get fucking 100 babies fertilized all at once inside
Popping
you.
out like lemmings.
Which makes sense why they kind of float around and disconnect.
Oh, shit, you not this morning.
The more you know.
I just looked it up and they are not just like floating; they're suspended in place by tissue,
Oh,
but
there you
they
go.
do kind of.
They wiggle
They go-
around. a little bit.
They move. They move very freely.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fucking mind blowing. How did I not know this until I'm
We're
43?
amazing creatures.
Oh, you are the most amazing. That's why. So you've seen Native American Indians. They basically they have their hair in two braids, and that's because it takes those three strands. So there's like Mother Nature, the mother, and then the male, and all of those combined create the next thing. Yeah, and that's why they have them. It's out of respect for the woman and Mother Nature.
That's cool. This morning, one of my boys was on my phone. They were searching through old photos, and they came across all the
dangerous.
pregnancy. Nah, I never take nudes. It's all good. You know this. And if you, I run a
Vanilla ice baby.
And one of the boys was flicking through photos of the birth of Frank. So there's photos of the umbilical cord and then like the placenta and stuff. And Dixie goes, do you know, up until that day, I thought the placenta was what the baby was inside.
Once again.
And she was like, and then I was like, what? Really? She's like, yeah, there's a separate sack.
Yeah.
I only found out when it was going pear-shaped. I was like, again, you don't need to know that stuff. Still had a baby.
Yeah. Well, I think it's amazing what little we do know about.
Yeah.
I only found out that it's like the size of your sinus cavity in behind your head, because you just assume that in behind your forehead is straight brain. Like
Yeah.
that's your brain goes up to your forehead, and then it kind of carves in behind your eyes and then sits around there. Your brain's like the size of two fists,
And then your sinus,
and then your sinus is one
fist.
fist, which sits in behind here. And that's what basically is the one that determines when you breathe through your nose, because that's the hole in your face you're meant to breathe through. So it filters out all of the pathogens that get dealt with by the mucus, and then it circulates the air so it hits the lungs at the right respiratory rate. If the air is too dry, it moistens it for the lungs. If it's too moist, it dries it out for the lungs. So all of these different jobs, like your nose does like fucking 50 different jobs when you're breathing. And everyone goes through
Have
their
you ever
mouth.
been knocked out?
Yep.
That surprises me. Your head is huge. If your brain's the normal size, there's so much room around your brain compared to... Like, there would be like a noticeable difference in the amount of room around your brain just because of the size of your
but
Swede.
it wasn't from being punched in the head. It was from being set across the jaw. Just fucking chinned.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising.
Also, very easy to hit. Big, beautiful chin of yours.
Buzz.
Roger Ramjet.
To infinity and beyond.
Jay and Dunc, making mischief in the knickers of middle-aged women all around the world. Our bladders aren't what they used to be, you know. Funny fuckers. Up the arse.
Our bladders aren't what they used to be, you know. You know.
Yeah, no.
Thank you very much. This episode brought to you by Classic Builders. They keep it simple, work out what you need, then help you get there without turning into a massive mission. Straightforward option or something tailored that you're cool. They'll help you sort it out. They've been doing it for a long time. If you're poking around the idea of a new place, get in touch with Classic Builders. Worth a look, I reckon.
Thank you very much, team. Appreciate you.
Back in tomorrow.